Sabaha everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you my review of the Fitbit Versa. By far the smallest, lightest, and one of my favorite longest lasting battery on a smartwatch, because that's really what the Versa is coming in. It's trying to be a smartwatch with fitness tracking capabilities inside. So it's not your standard Fitbit. It does a lot more and lasts a very long time. This is TK and I want to say thank you very much for Verizon for allowing me to check out the Fitbit Versa, and I've been using it for the last 4 weeks. So today's review is after using it for a month. Let's check it out. The Versa is compatible with both Android and iOS. Now I have been using it with my S9 Plus and it is compatible with Samsung devices. The box is very simple. It does come with small and large size straps, so you're not going to have to worry about it. I did end up having to switch it over to the large one as that one fits me a little bit better. Looking over the back real quick, we'll get some of the highlights. We have health features for step counting, continuous heart rate all the time, sleep tracking, you can sleep with this of course, guided breathing sessions, and then of course reminders to move every hour if you want to have those. Smart features for store up to 300 songs with the built-in 4 GB of internal storage, call, text, calendar, and alert apps, and I'll show that to you guys in the settings. As far as app, weathers, and sport, these are third-party and first-party application. Fitness features, of course, personalized on-screen coaching, which is built-in for yoga, connected GPS, and I'll explain to you guys how that works. It's not built-in. Cardio fitness level, water resistant up to 50 meters, amazing if you love swimming. Day to night design, 4+ days of battery, which is true if you have notifications turned off. Multiple clock faces as normal, lightweight, comfortable, and then of course interchangeable bands sold separately. These things are removable and there's no radios in them, so really you can customize it to you the best way you like. In the box we have a small little instruction pamphlet explaining to us how to use the charger. We do have a proprietary charger connected via USB. You can connect it to any power brick, and then the watch pretty much settles in where the pins are. So you put it on and it clamps on, and it actually fits pretty well. And I find this a little bit better than some of the other ones I've used with Fitbit, because this one actually has to be clamped on. So if you're not clamped on, you're not going to be able to charge it. Putting it on and you know it's in there, it'll start charging your Fitbit. It actually does a pretty good job. I usually put it on for about 2 hours or so once the battery is down to about maybe 20% after about 4 days, and it usually go back to 100% within about a couple hours. And they also do include the additional strap, and the straps are removable as we do have these little mechanisms here. Versa is very different than most of the other watches that you've seen on the market. Now an example would be here. You see I have my Gear S3 Frontier. It's smaller, it's definitely a lot thinner. You can see definitely the thickness is very different, but the battery is still able to last a very long time. The display on it is actually quite small. It is a color touch display. You're able to interface with it, bring down notifications, bring up your today's tracking activities, and of course go through and then check different activities. Like yesterday I went for a swim, it automatically started to track it. The treadmill run that I did yesterday as well, and of course it keeps historical data. And all of this will sync up to your smart. Now I chose this clock screen, and I'll show you guys how to be able to change those. You can customize it by just tapping on it here, and it'll switch between steps, stairs, and then distance, and of course heart rate continuous monitoring. On the back you'll see that little LED light right there. You should be able to see it. It's flickering right now. But essentially it's continuous heart rate monitoring using that little LED light. The pins are for charging, and of course the tracking on it for step counting is pretty good, although a little bit generous, and I'll explain in a way that actually I wore both these watches at the same time. So I had this one on the left arm, this one on the right arm, and I've always and consistently always had more steps on the Fitbit Versa. Not to say that it's wrong, but I feel like it's a little bit more generous than what I usually get on my Gear S3. I'm not comparing it to a very dedicated fitness tracker, but my Gear S3 is my daily driver, so I never take this off. I also never take this one off, so comparing the data between the two is always good to have. The Fitbit thrives mainly because there is a massive community of Fitbit users in the world that challenge each other. So if we go into the Fitbit application, this is your standard Fitbit app. You notice it just synced. It gives me access to what the battery is on the actual Versa, telling me if I'm low or not. It keeps tracking of all of my information, steps, floors, miles, calories, and of course different minutes of how many times I slept and I've worked out. It also shows you basically that I had a 6 hours and 14 minutes worth of sleep, and about 45 minutes of that is awake. You can track your water, weight, and step. You can notice right there the data itself is actually pretty conclusive, and you can see I've been going on it for a long time, and I really do appreciate and I enjoy using it. And you'll notice you can actually go historically here, and it just goes really far back. The main benefit, of course, is it has automatic tracking, so if you're starting an activity, it'll start tracking that for you. And you can go and customize the different options on it by clicking on the watch, and you'll notice these additional options. You can transfer media to it. There are applications, first party and second party or third party applications. So you notice these are the ones that I have installed on my device, and then these are the additional ones you can download directly from the Fitbit store. Now, clock faces are pretty similar. You have some that are installed and you can download additional ones. Although I find it a little bit concerning that if I download one face watch and I say I want to switch to another one, it doesn't give me the option of switching between the two here. I have to look for it again and then apply it, which is a little bit annoying. So when I tried to go into the chronograph, it took away my Trek Forever, my Trek face here. Now, the face is very nice. You can press it once to turn on and turn off the screen. Press and hold will turn on the certain option here where it turns on the screen on, notifications on. You can go back. Pressing once on the top right, it takes me directly into an exercise. And I have them preset between biking, running, swimming, and on the treadmill, and of course, weight training. Interval timer you can set as well as just general workout. And you can actually customize these and change that list directly within the app. Now, clicking on the bottom right turns on my alarms, and that's just in case you want to set an alarm. But interacting with this, let's say I go in and I want to turn on an actual, let's say a workout. I'll click on it once, it'll take me into an exercise. I'll say start, and I'll start the activity, and it'll start connecting to my device to get the tracking information for GPS connection. And then once I'm done, I can actually use the button or on the screen to turn it off and end the workout. So very simple and easy to use, and I love the fact that it's very centric as far as stats. They do have a how to use and of course accessories that you can purchase. Sync in it, all day syncing if you want to turn that on. Notifications come through, you can customize basically the call option. So here's a quick test call notification on the watch. You'll notice it's going to start ringing in a second and it's going to start vibrating. Turn on the screen, I can answer or hang up. I'm just going to go ahead and say hang up by clicking the button, or I can actually touch it on the screen. Text notifications, calendar, emails, applications, you can customize which apps can go through and push notifications, and quick reply is turned on, so you are able to use that. You can customize the quick replies per app in the system. And of course you have always on vibration, and you can go in and disable notification or send test one if you want to check it out. But overall, very good in the sense of what it wants to do. It does also have Wi-Fi, of course, as exercise shortcuts. As I mentioned to you guys, you can customize them in here. And of course, Keep Alive widget. This is the widget that we have on the main home screen. Swiping from the top on the actual watch gives you access to your notifications. These are the exact notifications you normally have on your phone. Although when you dismiss them from the phone, they don't go away here. You actually have to hit the clear all for them to go away, and then it says nothing here. Swiping from the right takes you into the apps that I was showing you guys that we have directly within the Fitbit, and you can add additional apps. Swiping away, you can go in, you have settings, access to settings, weather, you have Pandora, of course, for music playback, as well as Strava for running, Starbucks and tips as well, and then Deezer as well. So they do support some streaming services or services for music, so you can sync up some music into this. As far as swiping from the bottom, again, this is going to be your daily activity. You can go through, change. It does mention to you, obviously, that this is June 26th, the battery is 78, and it goes through. Overall, very nice, very, very good, connected. And of course, you can go in there into the community in here and start challenging friends and family, and of course, guidance, challenges. And it does have a built-in coach, so you can do some exercises with it, which is really, really functional. Having a really long life really reminds me of the Pebble watch, which I really feel like I think there's a lot of reminiscence here. Pebble was acquired by Fitbit about a couple years ago, so we're starting to see some more aspects of what we used to like about the actual Pebble watch in here. Small form factor, long battery life, interaction with our device. Now, as far as a smartwatch, I'm going to say this is a very basic smartwatch at best. It gives you notifications, you have quick replies, but that's pretty much the limitation of what it does. Syncing music over to it and listening to it over Bluetooth, I think is a very nice thing, but I think it's also, that's more on the fitness tracker part of it, not necessarily the smartwatch fact. You can't have conversation, there's no voice assistance through it, you can't do searches through it. All of that stuff is obviously going to be done on your phone. So keep that in mind as far as what you're expecting. When they say smartwatch, to me, that usually means I can have maps, I can have YouTube, I can have different things that I'm normally able to do on my Gear S3. After using it for a month, I'm very happy with it. Consistently, very nice, works really well. Swimming, running, working out, doing a whole bunch of different things. It's amazing. Although generous at sometimes with the steps, but I feel like it definitely boosts my my morale, and it makes me want to do more, which is the other reason why I really like this. I want to say thank you very much to Verizon for allowing me to check out the Versa for this period of time to share with you guys my experience. I'll give you guys links, of course, in the description below if you'd like to check it out and see a little bit more about what the Versa can and can't do for you. I think it's a great watch, very well priced, long battery life, really long battery life, beats this out of the water in like any day now. And again, I charge it usually about every 4 days. So thank you very much for the support. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.